Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to my, oh goodness, I've lost count of how many virtual village hall sessions I've taken part in now. So today's session is a Silver Swans ballet class. So Silver Swans is specially designed for the over 55s. It's an initiative of the Royal Academy of Dance, and I'm a Silver Swans licensee. So today's session is suitable for absolute beginners. So it doesn't matter if you've never stepped foot in a ballet class before. I'll be explaining everything right from the start. Of course, if you have danced before, it might even be many years since you were last in a ballet class, in which case it's a great time to dust off those dancing shoes and join in a class. So we'll be explaining everything from the start, positions of the feet, things like that, different steps. And then today's session, I'm going to theme it. I like to theme my sessions. And I'm going to theme my session today around the Ballet of Swan Lake. Of course, one of the classic ballets, absolutely iconic. And we're actually going to be learning the Spanish dance from Swan Lake. It's a great piece of music. It's a great dance as well, full of lots of Spanish styling. So it's really great, great dance to learn today. So before we begin, please check that the space around you is clear of any obstacles and that you've got nothing that you can trip over, and the flooring's suitable, you're not going to slip. You will need something to use as a ballet bar. So I have a dining room chair. Just something nice and sturdy that won't wobble over is absolutely fine. So, yep, I just really hope that you enjoy today's session. We're going to start off with a warm-up. There's two warm-ups we start off with. The first one is just getting us moving, and the second one is specifically for your feet. Nice and easy to follow along. So we'll start off with our first warm-up. We're just going to walk around in a circle, or if you haven't got enough space, then you can always walk on the spot. Okay, I will just set up my camera just so I can see nice and clearly. I'll just, there we go. Yeah, please feel free to add into the comments whereabouts you're joining in from today. I can see the first few comments coming in. Always great as well to hear if it's your first ballet class as well. So, right, let's get started. So we're going to walk around. Slowly up, taking your hands up and bring them down, and up, and back down, and up, and down, and up, everybody into the middle, feet together, hands in front, and we're going to bend and stretch, and bend and stretch. Now taking both hands behind you and into the middle, both hands behind you and into the middle. Now we're going to sway to the side, nice big bend and stretch, bend and stretch, bend and stretch, and bend and stretch, bend and stretch. One more sway, feet together, breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, good. So that's our first warm-up. We're now going to do our second warm-up. And for this, you're going to need your ballet bar. So just something nice and sturdy that won't wobble over. So I'll just move my ballet bar back a little bit more. Just a reminder that today is obviously a very hot day. So do make sure, please, that you do keep hydrated. I will put in some water breaks, but please feel free to have a drink of water whenever you need to. Okay, so for your second warm-up now, we're going to face our ballet bar. I'll just take a moment just to talk about your posture, because this applies all the way through the bar work. So we're thinking about lifting up all the time. There's a few different pieces of imagery. I'll share with you the ones which I think help the best. You can always imagine there is a string coming out of the middle of your head that is pulling you up towards the ceiling. That's a good one. Or what my particular favourite is, imagining your head is a helium balloon that is trying to float upwards, but your feet are the weight, so they're staying very grounded. I like that one because you do then get this two-way stretch. You're remaining very grounded, but you have got this lifted feeling at the same time. For standing at your ballet bar, we don't want to be too far away. You can tell that if your elbows are straight. You don't want to be too close because your elbows will be bent. We want them just to have a nice soft curve. Okay, so keeping that nice lifted feeling. Our second warm-up now. So we're going to start off with our feet going to the demi-point. Now, demi means half because everything in ballet is in French. So basically, it's half a pointed foot. So I'm going to crease my shoes, so a nice crease across my ballet shoes. Going to a pointed foot, back to my demi-point and down. Crease your shoes to a point, really keep your toes relaxed, and down. Demi-point to a point, demi-point and down, same again, to a point, demi-point and down. Then we're going to point and flex, pointing and closing, pointing and flexing, pointing and closing. Same again, and as you're flexing, really push your heel away from you. Gives you that little bit extra stretch just down your tendon at the back. And flexing, and pointing, and closing. Chosen a really nice happy piece of music to get us going on this beautiful sunny day. Let's go with music. And demi-point to a point, demi-point and down. Same again. Demi-point and down. Crease your shoe to a point, crease your shoe and down. Same again. Now pointing and flexing, and pointing, flexing, pointing and closing, point and flex and point and close. Really pushing that heel away from you, but you still think of lifting, pointing and flexing and pointing and closing. Okay, good. So that's our two warm-ups done. We've got ourselves just moving, and also we've warmed up specifically our feet. Our first exercise that we're going to take at the ballet bar is called our plie. This is always the dancer's first exercise at the bar. It's a lovely gentle introduction to the class, and it just gets us moving just that little bit more. I'll explain though about the positions of the feet first of all. So there's 5 positions of the feet in ballet, and we're going to use 3 of them in this plie exercise. So if you just start with your feet together, toes together, and you're going to keep your heels touching, but you're going to turn out the whole of your legs. So your turnout comes from your hips, and you'll find then that your toes turn away from each other. And that's our feet in first position. So it's not just your feet that have moved, it's the whole of your leg that's rotated outwards, and that's really important. Okay, so as you've got your feet in first, you want them to be just nice and comfortable. We shouldn't be forcing our turnout. Just a nice, comfortable position, you know. 5 to 1, 10 to 2, wherever's comfortable for you. And then if you keep that turnout in your feet, put a little space between your feet, and we have our feet in second position. So that's first position. And if you point your foot to the side and lower it down, then that's second position. Now, if you just come back to your first for one moment, and I'll teach you third position now. So third is if you bring your one foot in front, it doesn't matter which one, so that the heel of your front foot is in contact with the middle of your back foot. And that's third position. And we can take third position with either foot in front. So you've still got that nice comfortable turnout, but your heel of your front foot is in contact with the middle of your back foot. So to summarize, feet in first position, then we go to feet in second position. And then if you bring that foot in front, we've got third position, and that's the setting that we're going to go through now for our plies. So facing your ballet bar, just thinking about everything that we talked about for our warm-up, so about our posture and how far away we should be standing from our bar, and we'll stand with our feet in first position. So we've still got that lifted feeling. So with plie means to bend. So all we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees and stretch them, and we're going to have, I'll just lift up my skirt, then you can see my knees there. So my knees are going out sideways, and you can see it's a diamond shape that I'm making with my legs. My knees are tracking directly over my middle toe. Okay, so feet in first. So I'm bending my knees and I'm stretching. It's important to still keep your heels in contact with the floor. We think about 3 points of contact, your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. If anything will happen, it will be that your heels will want to pop up. Really keep them pressed down into the floor. So we're going to take 3 plies. Plie, and stretch, and 2, and stretch. A third plie, and stretch. Then I'm going to point my foot to the side and lower it down in second position. Now in second, make sure that your weight is equal on both feet. Don't lean on one leg more than the other. And we'll repeat our plies in second. Knees going over your toes, and stretch, and plie, and stretch, and plie, and stretch, pointing your foot. And then we're going to close it in front into our third position. So heel in contact with the middle of your other foot. Same again, plie, and stretch, plie, and stretch. A third plie, we still got that lifted feeling. And then we'll close back into first position. And we're going to finish off with like a little ending. And that ending is going to be 2 rises with our feet in first. So just a little lift of your heels is fine. And lower. We want to push more towards your big toes. Rising and lowering. And at the very end, we're going to take our hands up to 5th position. So 5th position, we're keeping our shoulders nice and relaxed. And it's a nice round shape with our arms. I'll explain a little bit more about arm positions later on in the class. Just really enjoy just that movement at the end, taking your arms up. Okay, let's go for our plies now. So feet in first position. Nice long necks, lifting up. Check you're not too close to your bar. Heels in contact with the floor. Plie 1. And stretch. A second plie. And stretch. A third plie. Now we're going to second position, lowering down. Check your weights in the middle. Both feet are matching. Plie. And stretch. Knees going out to the sides. And stretch. One more. Now bringing your foot in front. And we'll close into third. Same in third. Demi-plie. And stretch. Demi-plie. And stretch. Demi-plie. Now going back into first, ready for your ending. Into your rises. Rising up 1, lowering down. And another little rise. And down. Now to finish off, taking your hands up to 5th. Okay, good. Right. So our second exercise at the bar now is our battement tendus. Sounds very complicated. All it is just pointing and closing your feet. So for this exercise, we're actually going to do it with one hand on our ballet bar. So to check that you're standing correctly at your ballet bar, if you're using a chair like me, pop yourself at the back edge of your ballet bar. And then you can put your hand into the middle. By putting your hand in front of you, that really makes sure you can keep your shoulders square. If I stand forwards here and I put my hand in the middle of a chair, you can see how that's affected my posture, and that in turn will affect my balance as well. So put yourself behind your chair, hand into the middle, and your other hand is going to go onto your waist. And that hand, we want your elbow pointing straight out to the side. Again, for the same reason, because if it starts to go around the back, then that affects our balance. So hand on your waist. So in ballet, we talk about our inside leg and our outside leg. Your inside leg is your leg closest towards the bar, and your outside leg is your leg furthest away from the bar. And it's your outside leg we're going to use for this exercise now. So feet in first, pointing your foot to the front. So we're going to slide it forwards, and that is a battement tendu. And we're going to close it into first. Then we're going to go to the side. So we're going to take it to the side and closing in. Then we're going to take it behind us to the back and closing in. And then we'll take a demi-plie and stretch. So I'll give you the names of these steps. It's a battement tendu devant if we're going to the front. And we think about that being in front of our hip and shoulder. A battement tendu à la seconde. It's going to second. And for that, we think of our big toes as being opposite each other. And a battement tendu derrière, we're taking it behind our hip and shoulder again, closing into first. And a demi-plie. Then stretch, then we're going to reverse it, going to the back. And closing in. We want to keep our legs nice and straight all the time. You're sliding your foot out until it points and sliding it back in. Sliding it to the front and sliding it back in. And then we'll bend our knees and stretch. So a nice straightforward setting. We've still got that lifted feeling. We've still got our legs nice and straight, and we're really using our feet. Battement tendus are brilliant for developing the muscles in your feet and really helping with the mobility and flexibility and the strength as well. So the more you use your feet, the more it will really develop the muscles in your feet. Okay, feet in first position. Let's have a go at our battement tendus with music. And going to the front, and close to the side, and close now to the back, derriere, and close, demi-plie, and stretch, now going derriere, and close to the side, and close, devant, so to the front, and close, demi-plie, and stretch. Okay, so we've only worked one leg, so what we're going to do is we're going to swap over to use the other leg. Now, normally in a ballet class, we would turn around and face the other side, but obviously you're following along with the video, so the best thing to do is just to move your chair over to the other side. And then we can use our outside leg again, which should hopefully be our other leg. So feet in first, check you set up correctly at your bar, with that hands in front of you and your elbows pointing to the side. Let's go on the second side now. And going to the front, and close to the side, and close with sliding that foot until it points, and closing in, nice big bend, and stretching to the back, and close, slide it to second, and close, slide it to the front, and close, and demi-plie, and stretch. Okay, good. If we swap our chairs back round again to where they were before, and we're going to now take a step called a battement fondu. Fondue means to melt. Now, we're probably thinking of cheese and chocolate. We have a step in ballet which is a battement fondu as well. So it's similar to our plie in that both knees are bending at the same time, but there's a lot of coordination going to go on at the same time. For this exercise, we're going to face our bar just to give us that little bit more stability. So I'll just turn to face the camera one moment and just explain to you about a battement fondu. If you start off with your feet in third position, doesn't matter whichever foot you want to have in front, we're going to bend both knees and stretch both knees. But at the same time as we're bending both knees, your front foot is going to lift so that your little toe touches your ankle bone. There you go. I'll just line my skirt out the way there. There you go. So you see both knees are bending and then both knees stretch as I put my foot back down again. So both knees are bending and then both knees are stretching. So that's a battement fondu devant. And we can also take a battement fondu derriere. So that's your back foot that's lifting. So this time it's your big toe that touches your ankle bone at the back as both knees bend. And then both knees stretch. And then both knees bend. And then both knees stretch. So facing your ballet bar, feet in third. Try and start with the right foot in front. And we're going to take two battement fondus devant. Front foot lifts as your knee bends and stretch. Front foot lifts as your knee bends and stretch. And from here now, your front foot is going to go into a retire passe. So what we mean by that, retire means to drop, passe, it's passing to a new position. So the front foot that's just been lifting, it's going to draw up your leg. I'll turn to face you so you can see. So I'm going to draw it up and then it's going to slide down the back and it should appear in third position now with your other foot in front. So I'll just show you that again. So I'm drawing my foot up and then it slides down the back. And now I've got my other leg in front ready to repeat up with the other leg. Front foot and stretch. Front foot and stretch. Then drawing your foot up and sliding it down the back. Then we're going to reverse it also. We're going to use that same leg again. We'll go straight into our fondu derrieres. Back foot and stretch. Back foot and stretch. Then your back foot will lift up and it will lower down in front. Then we go the same again with our other back foot. Back foot. So big toes touching your ankle bone. Big toe touches your ankle bone and stretch, sliding it up and sliding it down in front. And on that retire passe, you're wanting your knee to go out to the side as much as possible, but not at the expense of moving your hips. Hips always stay nice and still. Let's give that a go with music now. So feet in third position, facing your ballet bar. So it's your front foot that's going to lift up in a battement fondu devant. And front foot, little toe to your ankle bone and stretch. Fondu. And stretch. We've still got our knees going over our toes. And take it to the back. Just like we had in our pliés, your knees are going over your toes. Fondu. And stretch. So as your front foot lifts, as your knee bends. It's very good for coordination. And drawing up. And we'll take that leg to the back now. We're going to use that same leg again as we go derrière. Fondu. So big toe on your ankle bone now. Fondu. And stretch, drawing up. And lowering it down in front. Feet in third position. One more time. Back foot. Back foot. And stretch. Back foot. And stretch, drawing it up. And lowering it down in front. Okay. Good, so that is our battement fondus there. Our last exercise at the bar now is our grand battement. So for this, I'm going to go back to standing sideways to the bar. But for this exercise, we're going to use our inside leg and outside leg. So it doesn't matter, we won't need to swap over to the other side. It will all just be done on one side, that exercise. So feet in first position. If you move yourself behind your ballet bar, check that your hand is in front of you and your other hand is on your waist. We're going to do a grand battement. Now, grand battement is very similar to a battement tendu. We're going to start with our outside leg. If you point your foot to the front and lift it a little bit in the air and lower it back down and close into first position. That's basically the positions that your leg is going to go through as you're taking this grand battement. But what we're going to do is our first two movements are going to connect together. So it's making like a swish, point, close. So with your outside leg, I'm going to swish my leg. Swish, point, close. So we're keeping your leg nice and straight. It doesn't matter about the height of your leg. It's more important that we keep our legs nice and straight. Swish, point, close. Have a go with your other leg as well. Swish, point, close. Swish and a point and a close. Swish and a point and close. So for the setting of this exercise, we're going to take 3 grand battements devant, which is to the front, with our outside leg. 1 and a point and close. Keep lifting up. 2 and a point and close. A 3rd grand battement. And then we're going to take a rise, just like we did in our plie. So a little lift of your heels and lowering down. That just centers your weight again. Then we go with our inside leg. We'll swish and a point and close. Swish and a point and close. 1 more. Swish and a point and close. A little rise and lowering down. Okay, let's go with music. We've got a great piece of music for this one. Feet in first. Outside leg and swish and a point and close. Swish and a point and close. 1 more. Roll back on. Into a rise and down. Other leg, swish and point and close. Swish and a point and close. 1 last one. Switch and point and close. Rising up and lowering down. Okay, good. So that finishes off our bar work now. So if you want to put your chairs away, have a drink of water. Like I said at the start of the class, please make sure that you just take a drink whenever you need to, because it is very hot today. So just mind my ballet bar out of the way. Okay, let's have a quick drink of water. Okay. Okay. Great. So it would be fantastic if you could write in the comments whereabouts you're joining in from today. If you're watching it on replay, always pop it in the comments as well. I still check it throughout the day. If you've got any questions as well about Silver Swans, always feel free to pop them in the comments. So as I said, Silver Swans is specially designed for the over 55s. I'm a Silver Swans licensee in Manchester, although obviously we've been online. I believe my website has just popped up there, the school website, for the Silver Swans online classes. Actually, we have a great summer programme starting next week. We've just reached the end of term, and next week we're doing a summer programme of 4 different ballets for 4 different weeks, and it is an open class as well. So if any of you fancy having another class, and it's on a Zoom as well, so if you go to the website, you'll find details of our summer programme on there anyway. We're doing repertoire from Sleeping Beauty, Swan Lake, Capelia and Don Quixote, and there are classes as well suitable in our summer programme for absolute beginners and more advanced dancers as well. So go to our website anyway if you want to have a quick check of that. Okay, we will start off now with our port de bras. So port de bras, it's all about our arms. It's the movement of your arms. So it's a lot of dancers spend a lot of time really making beautiful arm positions. So this is the opportunity in the class to really work on that. So feet in first position in the center of our room. So hands in a position called bras bar. So bras bar, I'll just come up to my screen then you can see a bit closer. Bras bar is a nice oval shape of your arms. You want your hands to be about as wide apart as your face, and your elbows are pointing round to the sides. As soon as your elbows are pointing to the sides, that means that your core is engaged. You don't want to have your hands pressed absolutely against you. There is a little gap there, but it's not way out in front. Okay, so that's bras bar. If you take your hands, keep them in the same shape and bring them up so they're opposite your waist, that's first position. And then if you take them all the way up to the top, shoulders down nice and relaxed, that's fifth position. And fifth position is what we did at the end of our pliés exercise. I'll just talk a little bit more about that fifth position. We don't want our hands to be absolutely up above our head because then we tend to lose control in our posture a little bit. So our hands always stay in front of us. We think of it as being opposite your hairline. From here, I'm going to open my arms out. Imagine you're stood in front of a big circular window and you're going to trace your fingertips around the edge of that window and they're going to stop at the side. And we call that second position. And lowering down back to our bras bar. So we went a little bit out of order there. We've done three of the 5 positions plus bras bar. So bras bar, first position. If we were technically doing it in order, it would then be second position. There is third and fourth, but we don't need to know those immediately. And then there is fifth position. So for the start of this exercise, we're just going to take each arm on a journey through that port de bras. So hands in bras bar. Your right hand is going to go first to fifth, opening out and lowering down. Then your other hand, arm first to fifth, opening out and lowering down. From here, now we're going to take our arms into third position. Now, the reason why I've left third and fourth until later, we don't need fourth today, but third position is actually a combination of 2 of those positions we've just learned. Third is 1 arm in front in first and 1 arm at the side in second. So 1 add 2 makes 3, so that's your third position. And swapping to the other side, we can have third with either arm in front. Just want to have a practice of swapping your arms from position to position because that's what we're going to use now. Okay, I'll just explain about your footwork now that's going to happen. So as we're doing our port de bras, our feet will remain in first, but I'll just explain about the footwork for the next section now. So after we've taken our port de bras, we're going to point our right foot to the side. Now remember, I always teach as a mirror image. So just follow along with me, just like you will be following in a mirror. So we're going to do 2 sways, and those sways, we're transferring our weight through second position until we release our other foot. And we're going to add little plie in second in the middle. Plie and stretch. Plie and stretch. So we're swaying, so transfer of weight. So our weight's going from 1 foot into the middle and over to the other foot. And we're swaying. So we're going to take 2 sways and then a little step together, step. So pointing your right foot to the side, I'm going sway, sway. Now imagine that there's some stepping stones. There's 3 stepping stones. Your left foot is on one, your right foot is in the middle one, and then there's a 3rd one there. We're going to step onto the middle stepping stone, step, join your feet together, and then you're going to step onto the 3rd stepping stone. Okay, so that's your step, together, step. If you think of those words, that really helps. Step, together, step. Then let's have a go again with our sways. 2 sways, sway, and step, together, step. Now, when that sway starts to go a little bit faster, because we're actually going to use that again in our dance in a moment, on the step together step, it can have almost, I always think of like a roller coaster, like the loop on the roller coaster. It can have a little bit of rise and fall to it as well, and that does actually kind of help with the movement of it. So you're going to step, we need to go through a slight bend to then rise up and then come out of it on the other side. Okay, so it's up to you. You can keep it on the flat, or you can add that little bit of gentle rise and fall into it. I'll add the arms onto that now. So when you point your right foot to the side, we'll prepare your arms to 3rd position. Now, as you sway to the right, your arms will go to the right. As you sway to the left, your arms will go to the left. And on the step together step, your arms will go to the right, to the left, to the right, and step together, step. It feels quite nice actually when arms and legs are working together. It's a nice steady port de bras this. Let's go from the beginning now. So your right arm is going to lead. Arm first, 2 5th, opening out, and back down. Other arm first to 5th, opening out, and then pointing your right foot to the side. Then we sway to the right, to the left. It's a nice gentle piece of music. Step together, step, to the left, to the right, and step together, step. Closing your feet in first. We'll repeat it again to the left. Left hand, 2, 3, 4. Right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pointing to the left, to the right, and step together, step, to the right, to the left, and step together, step. Okay, let's give that a go with music now. So feet in first position, we've got that port de bras to begin. Hands in bra bar. Okay, nice relaxed shoulders, still got that lifted feeling that we talked about at the bar. And arm to first, to 5th, shoulders down, opening out. And other hand on first to 5th. Now swaying to the right, to the right, to the left, and step together, step, and to the left, to the right, step together, step. Okay, now repeating with your left hand, left, to 5th, opening out, and down, other hands. And now swaying to the side, we'll go to the left, and to the left, to the right, step together, step, and sway, step together, step. Okay, good. Right, we're going to go on to our dance now. So I'll just play you the piece of music that we're going to learn the dance to. It's from Swan Lake. It is a Spanish dance. So we just... It's got lots of style to it. Okay, you can hear lots of castanets in it as well. So just have a quick drink of water if you want to. And we'll get going on our dance now. So we're going to start up in our top corner. So as I've said, we're doing everything as a mirror image. So This is over to the right, this is the left. So we're going to start in our left upper corner. So we're going to move away from our screens for this. And on the introduction, we're going to start with our feet in first. You'll hear a loud chord, and it goes dun 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 dun. And as we do that, our hands are going to go out and up and bringing our wrists together. Very Spanish, very spiky hands. Where in ballet we would have nice soft hands, in Spanish, very spiky and stylized. And we can really be very dramatic on that introduction. So we begin up in the corner. So we go dun 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 bum bum bum. We're going to take now 3 walks coming forward with your right foot leading. So we're going to make like a zigzag pattern across the floor. So my right foot leads 3 walks. Right foot, left foot, right foot. Then I'm closing my feet together. So I'm not even in first position. I've just closed my feet together there. Now you notice the way how I was walking there. In a ballet class, we walk with our big toe leading. Normally when you're walking down the street, you would walk with your heel leading. But it's not, it's your big toe that leads. So walk and walk and walk, joining your feet together. And all the time our hands are going to do little twirls and twirl and twirl. Very Spanishy, but nice supported elbows as we're taking this. Okay, so up to the corner, feet in first. Our introduction. And 3 walks. Right foot leads as we walk to the right. 1 and 2 and 3. Feet together. From here, we're going to put our right hand onto our hip. I'll explain about what your left hand's going to do in a minute. If we bend our knees now, your left leg is going to go, you can hear the rhythm of music go, dum bum 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 bum, and that's what your foot is going to do. Your right foot is just going to tap on the ball of the foot, and it's going to go in, out to a point, in, out to a point. Actually, I've just done my hand there, what I'm going to do. My hand is going to match my leg, in, out. Very Spanish, very stylized. 1 and 2 and 3 and join, in, out. From here now, I'm going to join my feet back together. There's a count, but we're going to bring our hand in, give it a little twirl, and you're going to really pull it across there. Okay, so we've got really, I'll just come and show you my hands up close. Normally in a ballet class, we would have very soft hands, but we want to have much more spiky hands. The middle finger is in all the time as we're taking this. You can really see the hands. Okay, so over here we're doing twirls, and then I'll just move back. Then you can see my hand up close. I'm going in, out, then I'm doing bringing it across, and that's when I'm pulling it out there into, I'll just move out the way, there we go, to there. So from the beginning, hands lift, and walk. You can use your shoulders, walk, and join. In, out, then I'm bringing my hand in, and I'm pulling it out. And you can really show off your back. Imagine you've got, beautiful lacy leotard on as you're doing that movement. We're going to repeat exactly the same now, going across to the other side. So left leg leads. But obviously if your hands are down, they're just going to go out. And we're going to bring them in, 3, and put them onto your hips. Then we're ready to go again with your right foot. In, out, and then we pull it across. Okay, let's give it a go with music up to that. Okay, so get ready for that introduction. So we've got that quick bum, bada bum, 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 and from there, that's where your hands then start to twirl. Let's go with music. Okay. And hands up. And 1, right, and in, out, pull it across. And 1, 2, 3, and join, in, out, then your hand. Okay, let's have one more go of that, because it is quite fast actually. But it's just keeping it nice and smooth. Just remember it's 3 walks and then going into the little stylized, in, out, and then you can really stretch it out. Let's go one more time from the beginning. Hands up, and twirl your hand. You can use your shoulder. And together, in, out, pull your hand across. And left leg, 2, 3, and join, in, out, then use your hand. Okay, good. From here now, we're going to go into our sway, step together step that we practiced in our port de bras. Now, at this moment, if you do have a skirt on, like me, this is why I put my long skirt on today for this dance, because the dancers wear a most gorgeous, like flamenco style outfit for this dance. You can get hold of your skirt with your right hand, and you can swish your skirt as you do your sway, step together, step. If you haven't got a skirt, you can always imagine that you've got one, and then we're going to go the other way. Sway, and step together, step. Okay, so we've just finished off there, and we go sway, and step together, step. Going the other way, and a sway, and a step together, step. Then we're going to take, sorry, we just did that once. I missed out a step there. Step together, step. Then we go into 5 spring points. Of course, it felt a little bit strange there. The foot that is pointing in front, we're going to bring it in front to point it in front on 1. Then we're going to show the other pointed foot 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll just turn to face this side so I can show you what I'm doing there. I'm pointing my foot in front and my other leg is going to go onto a bend. Because my other leg is on a plie, that means that this leg can then push me into my next position. You really want to keep your weight forwards for this step. If your weight's going backwards, and that means you can really lose your balance very easily. So keep your weight forwards. It feels very extreme, the amount that you have to keep your weight forwards, but it's actually correct. So we're going to do 5 spring points, because there's actually normally as dancers who work to 4s and 8s, but it's got an odd number of bars in this section of the dance. So let's go from the sways. We're going sway, and step together, step, spring point 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Now we're going to go the other way. Sway, and step together, step, spring point 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Let's just listen to the music on that section, please. Okay, so it goes sway, step together, step to spring point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other way. 1, 2, step together, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now on the spring points, if you want to, you can leave your hands on your waist. Or if you're feeling a little bit more confident, what you can do is take your hands on a full port de bras all the way up to 5th. And if you're really you really want to get into that Spanish style, you can use your shoulders as well. And 2, and 3, and 4. Okay. So we've just done our final set of step together step. From here, there's a few little extra counts now. Your hands are going to come from behind you. They're going to, in this very stylized style, I just come around here, they're going to come around and in to bring your wrists together there. But as we're going to take some steps going backwards, just to re-space ourselves into the middle, really. Don't worry about however many steps you want to take. You can take it as a few little quicker steps. You can take it as some slower steps. 1, 2. Even if you want to, if you don't feel confident walking backwards, you can always just turn to take those steps to come into the middle. Okay, so we've done our walks and our in-outs, and we've used our hand. Then we repeated it on the other side. We've gone to ending. Then we go into the sways. Okay, then we travel backwards into the middle, and we're going to stop with our feet in first position. And we'll prepare our arms out to second. Your right hand is going to do a port de bras, just like we did in the port de bras. So right hand up and out. Left hand up and out. Then your right foot is going to go to the back onto the ball of your foot, as we're going to go into a big curtsy. And at that moment, your hands are going to push out and away from you as you're looking down to that corner. It's almost quite intimidating almost at that moment. So 1 hand and out, and 2, and out. Then you can stretch it out. You've got lots of time for that. Then we're going to repeat it again. Left hand and down, and right hand and down. Then we're going to go into our ending. So we'll take some walks down to our downstage right corner. So we're just going to take some steps down to here. Your left hand is going to go onto your hip. If you want to, you can finish with your feet in first. Or if you want to really put a stylized ending onto it, you can finish with your left leg at the back, and your right hand is going to flick up into fifth position. It's up to you. You can finish with your feet in first if you want to. And that's the end of the dance there. So it is a hugely long dance. That is the end of the first big section of the Spanish dance from Swan Lake. That's the quicker section of the dance. It goes into this beautiful bit where the dancers travel around the stage. So I'll just go over that third section one more time. So I'm going right hand, left hand, and I'm going out. Then it's left hand, right hand, and then we're going to take some little steps. And I'm going to finish with my hand up. Let's go from the very beginning. Don't forget that these videos are still, you can still access them even after the class. So if you want to have another go at learning this dance, you can always access it. I'm sure the Virtual Village Hall will put it in the comments afterwards. Because also as well, you could always have a go as well at my other sessions as well that I've done in the Virtual Village Hall, based them on different ballets. Last month we did one on Le Corsaire. We've done them on all sorts. So let's have a go now from the very beginning for our Spanish dance from Swan Lake. So feet in first. Get ready for that introduction. And right, left, right, and in, out, take your hand out. Oh, so sorry. The music skipped just then. Let's go again from the beginning. We'll say that was a false start. Let's have another go. Feet in first. It did miss off the introduction, then it was all out. Feet in first. Hands up, right foot, one. And in, out, take your hand out. To the left, right, left, and join. In, out, take your hand across. Now it's our sways. Sway, sway. Step together, step, spring point. Left, right, left, sway to the left, sway, step together, step, spring point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now you've got this extra few counts, feet in first, arms in second, right hand, 1, left, into your curtsy, and left, right, and go down to the corner into your ending. Okay, excellent. We're going to finish off now just with our cool down and curtsy. So just as we did in the dance, we went into that curtsy. So your foot will go just at the back onto the ball of your foot. I'll turn around to show you. And then we'll just take a little bend and feet into first. And then another curtsy. So that's, we've got ladies joining in, we've got men joining in, because of course that dance could be done by men as well, because it is a men and ladies dance, that one. Got any men joining in? You can take a bow to finish off. Okay, but we'll start off with our cool down to begin. So feet together, just really concentrating on your breathing. Okay, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Feet into first, into your curtsy or bow. And curtsy or bow. And curtsy or bow. Now just walking around your room just like we did at the beginning of the lesson. So just walking around, really thinking about your breathing. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, well done everybody. I really hope you've enjoyed that session. It's such a great dance, that one from the Spanish dance from Swan Lake. So, as I said at the start of the lesson, please do write in the comments as well if if today's your first session. And also great to hear where you're joining in from. So my website, the for our Silver Swans classes, has just popped up there. And like I said, we have got a summer program as well, which is starting next week. And we've got classes suitable for beginners all the way through to those with dance experience as well. So take a visit and see what we've got coming up in the next 4 weeks. I am back in the virtual village hall next week, so I can't remember what the date is off the top of my head. Sorry, next month. And so I'll write in the comments when I'm next back in the virtual village hall next month, not next week, next month. Okay, enjoy the sunshine, everybody, and I'll see you next month.